At 1928 Tehran time on March 12, 2026, the large crude oil tanker MV Pacific Star, Liberian flag, 298,000 DWT, 333 meters long, 28 crew, was making 12 knots through the narrowest stretch of the Strait of Hormuz, only 21 nautical miles between Iran's coastline and the islands of Oman. On board were 2.1 million barrels of Saudi crude bound for Europe. It was a routine commercial transit, but after the events of the last 48 hours, the strike on Karni, the drone incident near Ford, the stealth destroyer Zumwalt and helicopter flyby, the convoy was moving under reinforced U.S. protection. The U.S. escort ship, destroyer USS Bainbridge, DDG-96, an Arleigh Burke-Flight IIA, held station 800 meters off the tanker's starboard side. 9,200 tons displacement, 155 meters long, 96 Mk-41 VLSLs loaded with SM-2, SM-6, and ESSM, Spy, 1DV radar, and 2 MH-60R Seahawks on the stern. Crew, about 300. Captain David Morales, 06, stood on the bridge repeating the order received from USS Gerald R. Ford, 68 miles to the south. ROE Level 2. Escort only. Fire only if there is a direct threat of ramming or gunfire. Do not provoke. The world is watching. On Bainbridge's flight deck, helicopter Romeo 2 was already spinning up, ready for a visual patrol. In the CIC, Aegis operators calmly scanned the horizon. Civilian shipping normal. Iranian coastal radars active but quiet. The tanker held a steady course of 142 degrees. On the Pacific Stars bridge, its Filipino master, Juan Ramirez, smoked a cigarette and said quietly on the radio, "Thanks to the Americans. Without you today would be frightening." Everything looked routine. The sun had set, but the horizon still glowed pink. 14 other commercial ships were transiting the strait, an ordinary evening in the world's busiest oil corridor. Radio traffic was minimal. Bainbridge's third watch drank coffee in a relaxed rhythm. No one expected that in 11 minutes the evening would turn into a classic nerve game. On the Iranian side, at the IRGC Naval Operations Control Center in Bandar Abbas, Major General Ali Jafari monitored the situation in real time via a network of Mohajer, 10 drones and coastal observation posts codenamed Nadezhda S. After the earlier escorting of Zumwalt and the helicopter flyby near Ford, Command decided to keep pressure on commercial targets. Not an attack, an escort for pairs of boats. Mission: close to the tanker and the destroyer as tightly as possible, hold 150 to 300 meters, run parallel, film everything, show the world. The American escort can't protect even a civilian tanker in our waters. Let them sweat. Let them stay silent. At 1939, from 4 points, Bandar Abbas, Larak Island, the Jazz Peninsula, and Chabahar, 8 IRGC fast boats, Paycap 3 and Zulfagari class, call sign Swift 31 to 38, got underway simultaneously. Each, about 16 tons, speeds up to 55 knots, 2 12.7 millimeters machine guns, powerful searchlights, and cameras. Crews of 6 in black uniforms. The weapons were for show. The mission was psychological. The boats moved in pairs. 2 pairs from the north Iranian coast, 2 from the south, a classic pincer around the convoy. At 1942, Bainbridge's Spy, 1DV, radar caught the first returns. Radar operator Lieutenant Lisa Chun reported calmly. Multiple surface contacts. Small, fast. Range 17 miles, speed 47 knots, converging course. Classifying as Iranian fast boats. 8 total in pairs. Captain Morales looked up, tracked them. Romeo, 2 airborne. Report to Ford. No firing yet. The MH-60 are launched within 90 seconds. 4 minutes later, the pilot reported, Romeo 2 is visual. 8 boats, moving in formation. Red and green NAV lights. Iranian flags, not fishermen, to organize. On the Pacific Stars Bridge, Captain Ramirez saw them first with the naked eye. My God, they're coming straight at us. Too fast. The setup turned into a steady escalation. 1948. The The first pair, Swift 31 to 32, closed in 9 miles. Speed dropped to 28 knots, precisely matching convoy's pace. From Bainbridge's bridge, they were now visible through night vision binoculars. 2 dark silhouettes running parallel to the tanker on the port side, still 4.7 miles out. In the destroyer's CIC, tension began to climb. The ESSM operator, Lieutenant Thomas Brooks, kept a finger hovering near the console. Targets are inside engagement range. If they accelerate the closure, I'm ready. Morales answered sharply. Hold fire. It's a game. They want us to shoot peaceful boats next to a civilian tanker. We're not giving them that gift. 1953. The second pair, Swift 33 to 34, came in on the destroyer's starboard side. Range 2.8 miles. They switched on powerful 5-kilowatt searchlights, beams cutting the darkness and slamming into Bainbridge's superstructure and the tanker's hull. On the tanker's deck, crewmen gathered at the rails. Someone filmed on a phone. Swift 33 activated a loudspeaker. Clear English with an Iranian accent. MV Pacific Star and USS Bainbridge. This is the forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran. You are in our control zone. We are escorting you to ensure navigational safety. Have a pleasant transit through the Strait of Hormuz. No reply came from the Americans. Only silence on the net. 1957. The third pair, Swift 35 to 36, moved closer, 1.4 miles off the tanker. Now the gap between the fast boats and the huge ship was only 820 meters. They ran precisely parallel, mirroring every adjustment. One made a shallow zigzag and passed 450 meters off Pacific Star's stern. The wake rocked the tanker's 300-meter hull slightly. On Bainbridge's bridge, Morales clenched his fists. They're tightening. 450 off a civilian ship. Romeo 2, keep distance, don't spook them. The American helicopter circled overhead at 800 feet, but the Iranian boats didn't react, continuing as if nothing were happening. 2002. The fourth pair, Swift 37 to 38, completed the ring. All 8 boats now ran in a tight pattern. For off the tanker's port side, for wedge between the tanker and the destroyer. The closest, Swift 34, passed within 280 meters of Pacific Star. The tanker's crew could see the Iranian sailors' faces, waving, holding up phones, filming everything. Antennas, cargo cranes, the American flag on Bainbridge. Peak tension, 2005. The convoy, tanker, destroyer, and 8 Iranian boats compress into a single dense tableau inside a corridor only 1.8 miles wide. The Engine's growl, Isada Fraschini diesels, was audible even on Bainbridge's bridge. One boat, Swift 32, reduced speed and held a steady line just 190 meters off the tanker's starboard side, nearly touching the ship's bow wave. Iranian sailors raised English signs. Welcome to Iran, and American escort, thanks to the escort. In Bainbridge's CIC, a young lieutenant finally snapped. Sir, they're literally rubbing the tanker's side. 130 millimeters burst, and they're gone. Morales replied in an icy tone. That's exactly what they want. Tomorrow CNN runs U.S. Navy massacres fishermen next to a civilian tanker. We don't give them an information victory. Maintain course. Do not react. On the tanker, Captain Ramirez was already on satellite call with the company owner in Singapore. They're at 190 meters. Filming us. The destroyer is silent. What do we do? The answer was short. Don't provoke. Stay on course. In the IRGC control center, General Jafari watched the live feed from the boat's cameras and smiled. Look, a 300,000-ton tanker, a billion-dollar American destroyer with 96 missiles, and 8 of our boats worth $20 million made them freeze. The world sees. The U.S. can't even move a merchant ship without our invitation. 2011, the Iranians received the signal. Mission accomplished. The boats began peeling away in sequence. First the southern pair, then the northern. Each withdrew slowly, making a final pass at 140 to 170 meters off the tanker and the destroyer. The last boat, Swift 38, switched on every searchlight, made a full circle around Pacific Star's stern, and only then turned north toward the Iranian coast. By 2019, all 8 boats vanished into the darkness. Bainbridge's Spy 1DV returned to a clean horizon. On Bainbridge's bridge, Captain Morales exhaled and said quietly to the watch officer, "We got the tanker through." But they were inside 140 meters of a civilian hull. Our protection today looked powerless. At the IRGC Control Center, General Jafari stood and clapped his operators on the shoulders. Write it into history. One American destroyer escorted a tanker through Hormuz, and we escorted them ourselves. 8 boats, not a single shot, only nerves. The entire incident lasted 51 minutes. Iran lost nothing. The U.S., another hit to reputation, and another strain on the nerves of the destroyer and tanker crews. The convoy continued, but aboard Pacific Star, no one slept until the ship cleared the strait. The narrator closes the video with a low, calm, ironic voice over the whine of boat engines and tense orchestral music that gradually fades. Today, the Americans learned that in the Strait of Hormuz, even a $180 million tanker under protection of the most modern destroyer cannot pass in peace. 8 Iranian speedboats came within 140 meters, filmed every wave, every face, every flag, waved, and went home to drink tea. And 328 people on 2 ships simply stood and watched. We simply reminded you, this is our sea. These are our rules. Your escort is just a very expensive stage set, where today the leading role was played by us.